Hi, and welcome to Land of the Knuckleheads. This is episode 9. I'm Ron Hurst from Developing Leaders. Really excited to be with you today. I got a special topic today. A very dear friend of mine from a whole different industry gave this one to me, but I think it will resonate with all of you. Have you ever been to a meeting? Of course you have. We've all been to meetings. But have you ever been to a meeting that seemed to go on and on and on and on and on, and it didn't seem to have any purpose? It just drove you insane? Yeah, that meeting, okay? Maybe it's a staff meeting, maybe it's some kind of communication meeting, but it just felt like there was no purpose to it. So I want to give you some strategies of how to deal with that, and if you are the manager that's leading that meeting, how will you know? Now, here's a really interesting thing. You won't know if all you do is listen to your own press. What you're going to need to do is ask people for feedback. How's our meeting? Are you getting value out of it? And listen to me. If you get feedback that sounds like this, oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, I get a lot out of it. If that's what you're getting, it sucks. You need to change it. So what I want you to do is think about this. There are 4 main points I want you to be thinking about when you set up your meetings. Number 1, at no time ever violate this. In fact, this goes for every aspect of your job. Dignity and respect. Treat every person that comes to your meeting with dignity and respect. Yeah, I know some of them won't deserve it. They'll be jerks. They're going to be irritating. They're going to check their phone during the meeting. They're not going to deserve your dignity and respect, but treat them that way anyway. If you get into the habit of treating everyone with dignity and respect, the amount of respect that you will get back from others will start to increase. So always treat people with dignity and respect. And what that means in terms of meetings, honor time boundaries. Start on time, end on time. There's nothing more irritating for many of us than the person who sets up a meeting for 60 minutes and at the 78th minute, they're like, oh, I'll just be a couple more. And I'm like, no, you're 18 minutes over. Shut up already. What I want you to be thinking about is start, end, on time. Some things that will really help make your meetings much more powerful. Make sure you have clarity of purpose before you go in, and when you walk in the room, after everyone's there, state the purpose. What are we here to do? Make sure everyone is clear on the purpose of the meeting, because often you may be having perfectly normal meetings, but nobody knows what they're about. And you go, well, that doesn't make any sense. They work for me. They should know. Well, no, actually, Mr. Manager, what's inside of your head is perfectly clear. It's crystal clear to you. But until those words come out of your mouth and are understood by other people, it's just a picture in your head. We need to make the purpose clear. Next, if you find yourself in a meeting that has a lot of items that keep dragging you off on tangents or going down secondary roads, I want you to start to use a parking lot. Now, what do you mean? I got to take my meeting to the parking lot? No. What I'm saying is you have a separate area that you say, that's out of scope for this meeting. Let's put it over here and we'll have to address it in another time. Next, you have to learn how to rein in your employees or the other people in the meeting, the people that have this horrible disease called verbal diarrhea. They don't know when to stop talking. You need to learn how to rein them in. If they're doing all the talking, your meetings are always going to go over time. And the reality is, you're not going to get valuable input from those people that really could offer wisdom because they're sitting there checked out of your meeting because they don't know what it's about, they're feeling disrespected, and some knucklehead is just blah, 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 blah for 75 minutes on a 60-minute meeting. They know that this is the way it's going to be. They're checking out before they even come in the door. So we need to actually stop doing that. Now, what if you are the employee that's sitting in one of these meetings? Well, first of all, bring donuts. No, well, you could. I'm just kidding. Bring some sugar into it. At least you have something to do, right? Coffee and donuts. Good deal. No, actually, what I want you to think about is before you go into that meeting, ask your manager what the purpose of the meeting is. Because the truth is, if they're holding these long, drawn-out, boring meetings, they may not even have thought about that question, and by asking it, you actually get them thinking in the right way. And if they can articulate the purpose of the meeting to you, go a step further. Well, Mr. Boss, how are you planning on getting at that objective? What are you thinking? How are you gonna attack that? Because I can see that there might be some people in the room that might not contribute, and I'm curious, how do you normally pull people out of their shell? Just asking questions like that are poised as a learner trying to learn from your boss. So you're not criticizing, you're not undermining, you're actually doing the opposite. You're trying to learn from them and at the same time using questions to teach them that they need to be focused on how they're running their meetings. So I want you to think, when you go to meetings, have a purpose. Make it clear. Make sure that you're reining in the knuckleheads. Honor time boundaries. Treat people with dignity and respect. And if you are stuck in one of those awful meetings, I want you to be proactive at the start. Make sure that you're asking the right questions. And when you're in that meeting, challenge yourself to stay engaged. As hard as it is, as easy it is to lean back in the chair and just want to nod off, ignore your phone, ignore the warm room, focus on the exchange. Focus on what's being said. Figure out how you can add value, and I think you'll find that you'll be able to stay engaged and the meetings will take on a whole different purpose for you. So that's it for Land of the Knuckleheads, episode 9. I hope your meetings get better. Look forward to seeing you here on episode 10. Lead well.